Hey guys, I'm Chef Nick with Burke County Schools and Chartwells. Today we're going to make some applesauce using apples that we got from our take-home lunch and breakfast program. Right here we have 4 medium apples that we got. And the first step to our applesauce recipe is we're going to peel our apples. To make it easier, one method that you can use is cut the ends off of the apples first. This way, you have a flat surface to work with when you're peeling your apples. You won't use the bottoms or the tops anyway, so you can just throw those in the trash. And then you take your peeler and just go around the apple on the top. And then flip it over and do it again. You can see it's a lot faster and easier, it's not rolling around, and you get a nice even peel and get all those peelings off your apple. So we're going to do this to all 4 of our apples. Okay, now that we have our apples peeled, we're going to dice them into kind of somewhat equal shapes. As you can see, our apples are kind of brown, and that's okay. They don't have to be perfect because we're going to be cooking them anyway. So if they have little imperfections, brown spots, or something like that, these are perfect apples to use to make applesauce. Make sure you're doing this with an adult at home if you're a student wanting to try this recipe. So first thing we'll do is take our knife and cut the apple core through the middle. So we'll just cut it into the big wedge sections, leaving that apple core right here in the middle with all the seeds, and we can throw that away, we're not going to use it. So once we have our apples cut up into little wedges, we're going to make them into dice sections that are equal in shape so that they cook at the same temperature and the same time. So we want to try and make sure all of our apple slices are made into cubes. They're just about the same shape and size. Now that we have our apples diced, we're going to cook them in our pot. This is the smallest pot we have at our kitchen, but you can definitely use a smaller one at home, something that you would like cook pasta in or make soup. So if you have a pot that size, that'll work perfect. So we're going to take our apple diced up cubes and put them into our pot. And we'll make sure we get all of it in here because we're going to need all of it to make it come out right. So once we get our diced apples in, we're going to add our 1/4 cup of sugar. And just white sugar, like the regular sugar you have at home. Make sure you get a nice even scoop, and we're going to add that into our apples. Once we get the sugar in the pot with the apples, we're going to get water, 3/4 cup, and add that in. And then to finish, we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and this will give it that nice kind of cinnamon sugar taste when we're done. And we'll just add that in with everything else. Once you get everything into your pot, you're going to want to cook it on a medium-low heat for about 15 to 20 minutes. And if you're a student trying this at home, make sure you're doing it with an adult. So once our apples have cooked and they're soft, we're going to let them cool down for a little bit. And once they've cooled down, we'll put them in a bowl. This is just a portion of the apples that we cooked earlier. So we're going to take a whisk, like the one you have at home, and just kind of mash them up a little bit. And the texture you're looking for is applesauce. So you want to get it nice and smooth and really, really try and get those chunks to smooth out into what would look like applesauce. Now that we've finished our applesauce, we have it plated up in our bowl and ready to eat. So you can either eat it a little bit warm or chilled. I really like it warm. That's how, when I was a child, my mom used to make this recipe and she would serve it to us warm. You can have it with things like chicken, you can have it with pork. It's really good over oatmeal too. It's a really, really tasty recipe. If you want to see more recipes like this, or get some apples from our school sites Mondays and Thursdays from 11 to 1, check the Burke County Schools website or Facebook.